Yo, we are back in After Effects, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to add this 3D gun animation into your music video. It looks so hard, and if you follow my steps it is like pretty easy to do, I'm not gonna lie. So I'll be showing you how to do this, but actually I'm not the first guy to do this effect by any means. It was firstly done in the EVK Block video, which was shot by Spooky, and the VFX was done by Invalid. So I'll leave both of those guys down below so you can follow them. They really killed it on the video. But without wasting any more time, let's just get into the video. So in my timeline you can see I have this clip right here. At the end we got the slow-mo going on because we want the animation right there, and I really recommend adding like a slow-mo at the end because it helps the effect to pop out a little bit more, I feel like, and it looks really cool. So you can do it if you want, but anyways, firstly in here we're gonna import our 3D model. So for that I'll be using Element 3D. You can use the built-in 3D option on After Effects, but I like to use Element 3D. It's way more better, bro. So I'm just gonna create a new solid right here. You can color it whatever you like, so let's just go with like a white, and you can name it Element right here and just hit OK. And for now I'm gonna hide this solid and go over where the slow-mo starts, so around like here, and I'll trim the solid around like here, so the beginning of the solid will be here, so it comes like there. So this solid will be the duration of our like the Glock animation, you can say. Then in here we're just gonna add the effect called Element. If you don't already know, this is the plugin I was talking about. You can purchase this plugin or you know what to do. But anyways, however you download Element 3D, just go into scene setup now. After the scene setup open up, just go over to where it says import. And for the model right here, I'm gonna use my 3D model pack, as you can see. So Asim Nauwag 3D model pack, I'll be using this. If you don't have my pack, just go to Sketchfab and download a good model from there. Make sure it's OBJ so you can actually import it onto like Element 3D. So if I go into my browser right here and just search up Sketchfab, in here you can search like gun and go through and find some like good models for your. Or if you don't want to do this, just go over to my site asimnauwag.com, go over to shop and just purchase this 3D model pack right here. It is actually made for music videos, so it is perfect for any kind of music video. It comes with everything that you need for a music video. So it's over like 40 plus models, like bullets, guns, all that good stuff. So go ahead and get it if you are frequently doing like 3D for your music video. I really recommend this. But anyways, however you got your model, just import it into Element 3D by just opening up the file. For me, I'll be using AK with a laser right here and hit open and just hit OK. And now in here you won't see your model because it is too small, so just go over to the edit and just hit normalize size right here. So it will like normalize the size right here, as you can see, and now you can just scale it up, so something like this. But as you can see, the anchor point isn't at the right place, so just like go over to where it says this anchor point mover right here and just move it to your Glock right here, your gun, and after that disable it and just slide it in right here so it's on the center. So now we are pretty much done with elements, so we're just gonna hit OK and back out. And in our scene you can see this gun right here, it is not rotated properly, but we're gonna fix that later on. So now what we're gonna do is right click on blank space, go over to new and just create a camera right here. And for the focal length I'm using like 9mm and just hit OK. And after the camera it will give some depth to the model, I really love. Now you can go into the element layer again, go over to where it says group 1, scroll down where it says group utilities and just go over to where it says create group null and just hit create right here. Now selecting that null, you can just rotate your model according to your liking. It is way more easier to use like a null to rotate. Like the value of elements really gets me like 6, so just use this. You can move it backwards and you can just like rotate it like this. Maybe we're just gonna make it come from here, something like this. Yeah, maybe position it to the right side around like here. So now I guess that looks cool. So now we're gonna start animating it. So for the animation I like to go into X rotation and hit the stopwatch in there and put this fast keyframe around the end and go over to the fast frame of your element and just bring up the value to around like 50 or 60, so it like goes down. Now you can select those keyframe, easy ease those, go into graph, selecting the rotation actually, and just make a graph like this. Then after that you can see we have an animation like this. Maybe you can even like extend this keyframes so it still has some movement at the end. But now go over to your element again and go over to where it says render settings, and you can turn on the ambient occlusion actually and just bring up the intensity. So what it will do, it gives some shadows in there. Maybe I'm just gonna play with the rotation a little bit more to make it a little bit more like dynamic, or maybe even like scale it up and just change the position around like here, yeah, something like this. So it comes in like about there, as you can see. I don't know why, but my ambient occlusion was low, so let's just bring it up to 50, and I guess that looks really hard right there. So now in here you can add any type of glow that you want. For me, I'm just gonna add an optical glow and just bring up the highlights only, and just bring up the size and the amount to what it is, maybe something like this. And in outer tint, just set it to red, and in alpha channel, just set it to extended almond, so our background comes in right there. I guess that looks really hard. Now you can add like a curves and just make a S curve right here, something like this. So the S curve, and maybe in element, just go to where it says lighting right here, lighting, and in add lighting, just set it to 360 so it has some like cool lighting around it. So you can rotate this light to see what's up. Maybe something like this, then lower down the amount. Yeah, I guess that looks real hard now. So now our basic 3D is done. So what we'll actually do now is just add some like invalid sauce in here, like some of his secret sauce. So let's just get started. But firstly, we're gonna select all of these pre-comp right here, and just go over to where the gloss comes in around like here, and put a new marker right here, so something around here. And right here, we're just gonna make an adjustment layer and trim it till here. And in this adjustment layer, you can add your favorite shake or whatever you like. But for me, I'm gonna use my Essential FX right here. If you don't already know, I got a pack called Essential FX, which has some crazy wiggles and shakes. So from there, I'm just gonna use my Asim best wiggle right here. And after adding that, easily you can see we have this easy, cool transition right here to the gun, like to the 3D gun. I guess it looks real hard than adding like a shake. So if you want to download my preset pack, I'll link in the description. It's actually goated. Like it comes with like 40 plus presets like this, similar to this. Like it is super high quality, and it will really help you to like work fast and work efficiently for your music video. Cause if you like actually go ahead and try to create this effect on your own, it will maybe take you around like 10 to 15 minutes just to master it. But in my preset pack, it's just one click, so you are saving a lot of time. But after that, we're gonna add some ink type of overlay in here. So firstly, what I'm gonna do is duplicate the original pre-comp right here and trim it till the adjustment duration, so around like here. And in here, we're just gonna add a black and white firstly to make it black and white, and minimax to add some blur, and put this minimax before the black and white actually, and just bring up the minimax to around like 12, yeah, something around there. After now, you can add like a curves and just lower down the shadows, bring up the highlights a little bit, something like this to make it a little darker. Then after that, to add some color like Invalid does, you can add a 4 color gradient right here. And in this first color, we're just gonna set it to red, and in this second color, it is already blue, so we don't gotta play around with that. And I'm just gonna move out these to like green and pink because it looks ugly. And now in here, in blending mode, just set it to overlay, so it turns into like this type of police siren type of effect right here. Maybe you can play around with different blending modes in here. Maybe soft lights also looks real hard, not gonna lie, but you can really play around. Now comes the sauce. So in here, you can see I have this ink overlay right here, which we're gonna use. So just drag in this ink splash right here and just lower down the size to around like 50, I guess. I'll link this in the description if you don't have it already. And we're just gonna trim this when it starts, so around like here, according to the adjustment layer. Now we're gonna mute this and hide this, and make sure you have toggle switches and modes, and select your like the dark comp that we made, this like the duplication of the original pre-comp. You can actually name it like dark comp right here. And in this dark comp, actually I forgot, but you can I actually add like a exposure and lower down the exposure, so the exposure is pretty low. But anyways, in here make sure you have toggle switches and modes, and where it says track matte, just track it to the bulb one right here, and right beside there just switch it to Luma from alpha, so it goes like there, as you can see. Now if you play through, you can see we have the invalid source going on right there, so that looks super dope now, as you can see, with the ink splash as well. Maybe you can go into the comp, and I'm gonna go into element and just make a little more S curves or something like this. Then I'm gonna create another adjustment layer right here, and maybe in here we're gonna add an effect called hotspot, sapphire hotspot, and just lower down the threshold to 0 and just animate it to the end, so it goes like this. And you can easily ease those, go into graph and just make a graph like this. If you like, you can also add like a minimax with it, minimax, and just hit the stopwatch in the radius, and as it goes do the same thing, yeah, something like there. And now you can ease that as well and do the same thing with the graph. We can play with the graph in here, maybe something like this. Nah, minimax actually doesn't look good. Maybe you can swap it with like a fast box blur and just bring it up and just do the same thing in here maybe. And with that, I think we're done. And now if you play through, you can see we have our final result looking something like this. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Follow me on Instagram, follow Spooky on Instagram, follow Invalid on Instagram. I'll link it all in the description. You can check out my digital store if you want to purchase some editing assets and make your workflow faster. But anyways, I'ma see ya on the next one. Peace.